Oh, Shakidaki, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Hope we're having a great day today. It is Monday, the 12th of June, 2023. And today is actually the King's birthday, which means in New South Wales, it was a public holiday. So I spent the day editing, and then I went and shot some arrows. Hilariously enough, though, my friends in the north, in Brisbane, they didn't get a holiday.
Messages in your email. They are not as encrypted as they should be.
Why can I not hear anything? Hang on. That's odd. That's more like it. I was wondering, like, why can I not hear my game at all? Because I just have to restart my speakers. Okay, so yeah, my friends in the north, they didn't get that, but I was shooting on Protea's damage. After playing her, I realized she was busted. When were you doubting Protea's damage? That's an oddly bizarre character to be doubting in terms of the damage, because it's, if anything, it's like sufficiently well known that Protea's damage is particularly good. Like, dare I say, Protea's damage is one of the highest in terms of a Warframe anyway. No sharp shot this week? Damn, that's brutal. Okay, so I did all my dailies, so we'll begin with circuit shenanigans. I see someone has also discovered the raw build. It's not even the raw build. It's, you don't even need raw on her. I don't use raw on her, and I think she does a ton of damage. Way too much damage. Last time you were saying that she needs armor strip because the turrets scale bad. Ah! I think you also forgot that her turrets do heat procs. So her turrets already have armor strip. Clearly I do actually need to do the armor strip video for 2023. I recorded it a couple of times, and then I kind of got fed up and I decided not to do it. Clearly I do need to do it, but I think I need to just, like, not overkill it on, not go whole ham on how I, do it. Hey Seed, how's it going? Garuda? You want me to use Garuda? I can do Garuda, sure. All your armor strip videos get hella views? Yeah, I should, shouldn't I? Yeah, it's just been a bit of a meme trying to actually make it happen. Because I've recorded it like 3 times, I haven't bothered, I tried to start editing it and then I got tired and I kind of just moved on. Garuda doesn't need weapons? True. But I'm going to keep some weapons on me just in case. But yeah, clearly I need to do it. I think what I'm going to do for the 2023 armor strip video, because I don't want to, like, rehash everything and turn the video into I don't know, should I turn the video into a 40-minute video where I actually go through every single Warframe that can armor strip again? Because, like, I don't really want to, like... Do you get more views on your Warframe side or Genshin? Oh, Warframe for sure. Rarely does a Genshin video even make it past 500 views. But these days a Warframe video can regularly make it past 1,000 views. On occasion it doesn't. For example, my video where I was like, oh yeah, no, Condition Overload actually works on the Incarnates, that only got 100 something views. So, you know, I don't exactly have like a set thing. I kind of just make everything and see what sticks and whatever. That's kind of just be my philosophy. Like, that's why I don't really care about, like, specific content metas, because the reality is like, whoa, do I have like...
Then thrax. Globes of
You got a Domino's ad?
energy hover around you.
Damn, that's rough.
Collect them to seal the breaches.
Ain't no way the Basmu has no catalyst. Basmu is I think Basmu is like relatively new, which is why it doesn't have a catalyst. But yeah, I don't really care to follow like content metas, because it doesn't really like translate to anything for me. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, everyone's covering like this weapon, let's go cover this weapon too. Proceeds to get no views. Randomly cover something else that is just out of the blue, and I get like a few hundred views, a lot more than what I would have gotten if I covered what everyone else is covering. So it doesn't really matter. Did I watch already? Did I watch what? Gundam? Yeah, I watched Gundam. Yeah, I'm caught up. I was watching Demon Slayer as well today. Okay, I watched the Gundam episode literally after I finished streaming last night.
The Void Angels are unrelenting. You
So
is keeping them at bay.
I guess we're gonna jump into some Gundam spoilers, chat. So you know, take that for what you will. So, Quiet Zero. Yeah, who? I guess that's this. I guess that's this series is what was it called? Messiah? In Seed? No, in Seed Destiny, I think it was called Messiah.
Master will be freed. Do not
Or was that Seed? Like the big ass weapon from Seed was oh, I don't know. No, the big ass weapon from Seed was, I think, Messiah? No. The big ass weapon from Seed Destiny was Requiem. The Requiem system. Demon Slayer episode 10 is out. The episode, yeah. Yeah? I don't remember what number we're up to, but it's called Love Hashira Mitsuri. So you can pretty much guess what that episode is all about. Came out yesterday.
the rupture is
Demon Slayer.
closed. The paradox stabilizes.
I guess so. I think what ends up happening, at least on like 9 anime, is what I think is like a dubbed episode of Witch from Mercury comes out immediately before the latest episode, the latest subbed episode of Demon Slayer. Genesis? Oh, Genesis! Wait, Genesis? Which one's Genesis?
Enemy has been held.
Oh, right, that's the big ass, like, laser dish thing, right? That, like, is the thing that is shot one final time that completely obliterates Raul de Cruz.
Or fight on.
Yeah, Zaft used Genesis. Right. And then later on, they also use Requiem.
Within the undercroft, the paradox provides.
Because, like, the Logos people, or like
and keep them power.
the Logos people, you know, the extreme Earth racists, the competitive Earth racists, who say, and I quote, "Ao no sekai no tabeni," which is basically for the sake of our blue world, which is like some crazy ass like Earth Nazi. That sounds like some Earth Nazi rhetoric. Let's be real here. But I think that's the vibe that they were going for with that one.
Enemies are a
Hao no sekai no taberi. Ay ay ay.
excavator is almost destroyed.
Like, just like for those who, what the hell? Need more health? I'm out of What is how did this happen?
Extractor charge expended.
Yeah, Gundam Seed Destiny used Requiem. Yeah. Requiem was a ridiculously crazy weapon.
Secrets lie buried deep within the undercroft.
Like the idea that they're just straight up like
Means to extract
this Garuda build.
you
No, this Garuda gameplay more like.
and keep them powered.
No, I just somehow completely screwed up. I don't even know how I managed to do it. Whoa!
Extractor in place.
Quiet Zero is more like Skynet. Well, I mean, considering the combat application of Quiet Zero that we saw in the latest episode of Witch from Mercury is very seems to effectively be like a Requiem, like I'm just saying, like it's the Witch from Mercury's Genesis and Requiem system, just different. Actually, didn't we have something similar to this in like 00? Like Tieria Ada is able to hack some sort of Veda.
Treasure.
That's what it's called, Veda. And so then, like, there was that whole plot point, I think, in Trial System Veda. Yeah, true. And so then there was that whole plot point of, like, oh crap, Ribonza Aramaku is very, very strong. Why? Because he's also managed to get his ass into Veda. I think it was, or something like that. Because he's a thingamajig, right? And so for a brief moment, I think, Tieria didn't have access to Veda, and Tieria without access to Veda it's like it just basically became a poor schmuck, basically became a fish out of water. But yeah, this last episode of Witch from Mercury definitely felt like
New void treasure.
it definitely felt like the fruit of Prospera's labor has, like, Prospera's revenge has finally come to fruition. You know what I mean? And it really reminded me of a line from of all things, from Batman v Superman. I don't know if y'all remember this particular line. It was when Lex Luthor is taunting Superman.
Excavate.
Right? So Lex Luthor is taunting Superman, and he's going all like, this is like Lex Luthor going all biblical and everything, right? And he's saying like,
Is severely damaged. Protected.
if you're not a god, then you are a devil. Or if you're not a god, then you are a demon. And a mother of demons, i.e. Martha being a mother of demons, of a demon, that must make her a witch. And like, this whole thing of like, well, we have Quiet Zero. It just deleted an entire platoon, including the ships. If you want to talk about like a demon, that's some pretty like outstanding play right there, right? And so the mother of something that strong, that has just taken out that much life, that's a witch. It's interesting, isn't it? It's only recently that I find that like, I always thought, so like growing up with like Harry Potter and stuff, I always thought that like witch and wizard was just a gendered term, and they are effectively the same. But it seems like in a lot of historical folklore, and this might just be like historical sexism and all that jazz, but like it seems like in a lot of historical fantasy and folklore, witches are not necessarily just female versions of wizards. A wizard, well, outside of a dark wizard, obviously, but like, with the exception of a dark wizard, wizards are typically like, you think of like Merlin and co. They're usually like on the side, like sort of what do you call it, lawful good type characters, or at least like some form of good type characters. They may be lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, whatever, right? But then like you look at witches and you think of immediately like witches who spawn demons from themselves, Morgana,
You may now.
you know, all sorts of other characters. And then you know, you come to like modern day, well, not modern day, you come to like now, and you think of like the Scarlet Witch, i.e.
To make
Wanda.
ordinary demands of
To be a witch infers some level of evil now. Witches apparently seem to be an evil type of character, not necessarily a good type of character like a wizard
seeds
is.
Praxis violence. Burn it out with force.
And then you have sorcerers, which are a little bit different. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like I'm pretty sure some like D&D nerd is going to come in and be like, no, there is a difference, there's an actual difference. But like, yeah, seems like you've got witches that are generally considered like more of an evil, violent character, and then you have wizards who are considered more of like a on the side of good, on the side of humanity type of character. But then of course you have characters like Jaina, who's not really ever considered a witch. I think she's more considered a mage, which is probably much more of a catch-all term. At least that's how I feel like. At least that's what I think is going on these days. So bringing all of this back to like the witch from Mercury. It might not be Soretta. The Witch from Mercury might actually be the title of the series, Witch from Mercury. It might not be referring to Soretta anymore. It might actually have always been referring to Prospera. Because I guess this entire story has always been about, like, Prospera's revenge. Which is basically Shah's counterattack. Yeah, but, like, this story has basically... We thought this was a story about Soletta. But the reality is, this story has always been about... Prospera. And her quest to seek justice and vengeance for what happened to her at the, at Vanadis, I think it was? At Vanadis. So yeah, very interesting. The witch is Haro. Oh yeah, true. Haro is always a witch. True.
Victory has been struck. Fight on and fan the flame.
Anyway, going back to the whole, like, should I do the armor strip video? So what I'm thinking I'll do is just basically, like, list all the warframes that I've already listed before. But then... But like, mainly focus on, like, the new ones. Or, like, maybe if some of the older warframes that I've already listed before have new ways of stripping armor or new ways of ignoring armor. Because I don't want to, like, go through the whole thing again. That last video was like, what, 20 something minutes long? If I just redo the last video, then this next one is going to be like 35 minutes long. It's going to be just as annoying to edit. I work full time. You know? Like, I work full time. I don't exactly have the time or the energy to edit it. And I have things that I do now because I have... And this might be a foreign concept for some of you guys, but I actually have friends now Yeah. So then it becomes a bit of a... Like, folks, don't get friends. It just makes... friends... Like, if you have friends... Like, if you try to get friends, it... Just prepare yourself for the fact that friends will eat into your streaming time or eat into your editing time.
The madness of the undercrafted girl.
I say that in jest, but that's actually true.
Not to be content with me
Full-time streamer.
doing enough.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Full-time streamers don't necessarily have a lot of friends. I mean, they probably do, but they don't really have that many friends. Like, at least not that many friends who aren't streamers as well. So, like, I look at, like, Hassan, for example. Oh, he has a bunch of, like, IRL friends, but they're streamers. And so half the time it kind of feels like it's less of, like, just me hanging out with friends and more like me hanging out and collaborating with other streamers. And I bring up Hassan because I was just rewatching, like, his trip to Japan, because I want to go back to Japan. I think I've mentioned this before, but I do want to go. I've got to go back to Japan at some point. Yes, Melon. Hey, how's it going? FC UK, the brand? I'm surprised that FC UK even actually managed to get, like, the branding. It was even allowed to do that kind of branding, because it's very clever. Like, if I was like if I was like a marketing major, I'd say that was mwah. The hell does that say? Thailand. Okay, give me a sec. Let me just set myself up so I don't end up dying. All right, let's crack out. So you just said Thai. Oh, that just means Thai. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you're going to Japan this October? Nice. Wait, so what does FC mean? Yeah, Shin, if you're going to Japan this October, that's that's actually summertime. Okay, I can offer a bit of wisdom. It's going to be humid. Okay, when you go outside in October, when it's like when it's still like rather hot, because we went, I think, August, September. So we went during the height of summer in Japan. You're gonna go in like autumn-ish, so it won't be super duper hot, but just keep in mind it might get hot. It might get very hot, and if it gets very hot, you're going to sweat balls. Okay, so just don't do what we did, which was sort of like underestimate how humid it can get, because we were sweating like crazy. Like, as soon as I step out the door, it was very, very hot. I'm going rain season. Wait. Japan's not in the tropics, is it? Anyway, just keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm sure you can pack accordingly. So yeah, you'll be good. Yeah, I avoided August. Ah, gotcha. September was my first choice. Ticket prices were the highest. Oof. How much were the ticket prices now? Because, like, me and my friends are pretty keen beans on going back to Japan. Not going back to Japan. Me and my friends are pretty keen beans on going to Japan. For me, it's going back, but, like, for my friends, it's not going back. They will be going for all of them would be going for the first time. I'd like to go back to Japan. Kind of hard to share my prices, very different to yours since I had the puff. Oh yeah, true! Ah, true. Never mind. That was, you know what? As soon as you said that, I realized that was a dumb question. That would not help me in the slightest. You would say, especially you're in the Netherlands, right? So that's like Europe, which is definitely, yeah, I've gained like no knowledge from this. Like your price would be definitely higher than mine because you're in the Netherlands. You have to fly far. You have to fly further. Oh, actually, you have to fly further. So, right? How long would your flight be? Because when we went there, we went via China. So it was a 12-hour trip to China, to Guangzhou International Airport. And then it was like a, I want to say 5-ish hour flight, I think, from Guangzhou. No, it would be another, I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't remember. It wasn't that long. Although it's weird that it takes like 12 hours to get to Guangzhou. Maybe I'm just like really underestimating how far Guangzhou is. This year I played a bit premium to get a direct flight, but even then prices are about 80% since last. Prices are almost 80% higher since last time. Damn. I think when we went there like many years ago, it was like a $5,000 trip Australian altogether. But we don't have to go as far. €600 non-direct, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think we also went non-direct. Did I ever tell you guys about the hotel that I stayed at? When we were doing the layover in China? The hotel near Guangzhou International Airport. Actually, isn't there a name for the international airport of Guangzhou? Like there is, I just don't remember what it is. Like, it's not called LAX, for example, LA has LAX, New York has, I think it's called LaGuardia. Guangzhou has... something that, as soon as someone says it, I'll be like, yeah, that's it. Because it sounds vaguely familiar. Anyway. No clue about China? Yeah, no clue. I don't really know myself. Actually, let me search it up. Guangzhou International. Oh, Baiyun. Oh, Baiyun. Baiyun. That's what it's called. Have to BRB though. Have to visit the bank physically because they blocked my. What? Okay, there's a story. There's a story there. What did you do? Did you smuggle drugs?
No time to rest.
Did you pick up a phone? Did you pick up a spam call? You were booking accommodations too quickly. And let me get. I'm whitewashing money. Yeah, because in this economy, you can't be spending that much money there, Shin. Of course they blocked your account. They're thinking, man, look at this Shin here. He's just like spending thousands of dollars within the space of a day, quote unquote, booking accommodation. Yeah, I'm sure he's money laundering 100%. No way could he possibly afford that much accommodation in this economy. No shot. No shot. Am I right? There's no way he could afford that much accommodation. No way. So he's either like committing big crimes, or he's money laundering like crazy. Yeah, exactly. This economy is designed so that the folks, the likes of you and me, we can't afford vacationing. Absolutely not. Who do you think you are? The top 1%? Trying to vacation, Shin. Yeah, nice try, buddy. Nice try. We know you're money laundering. Cough it up, buddy. Cough it up. Is the implied you think you have control over your own money? Yeah, I know, right? It's like, for the purposes of the safety of your account, we are going to prevent you from using your own money to plan your holiday. Because clearly you can't afford to plan your own holiday. Clearly. I mean, obviously. Especially you, Shin. Aren't you a millennial like me, like the rest of us? You're a millennial like me, you can't even afford a house, probably. So in this economy, you can't even afford a house? Well, guess what? You can't afford a vacation then. You don't deserve to have anything that makes life meaningful. No house indeed. Exactly. Exactly. So, if you think that a guy, such as yourself, who can't even afford a house in today's economy, is booking accommodation like this? No, I don't think so, mate. Something's definitely sus. Something is definitely super duper sus. Lock it down, Jim. Lock it down. Don't say like the rest of us, I ain't old, I'm 17. Bro, you're even worse!
Do not falter. The winds blow fiercely. The rains do not relent.
Alright, no worries, shit. Mara, you're even in a worse position because you are part of the worst generation period ever period. And so am I. My generation makes me sad. Is it because of like the absolutely horrific economic situation that our generation is in? Or is it because our generation happens to be doing some extremely cringe stuff as well? I saw like I think there was like an article suggesting that Gen Zers might be trying to cancel Hooters because for reasons, but then there was like additional context. No such thing is happening. And I was like, okay, I know Gen Zers can be cringe, but they're not that cringe. But to be fair, like every older generation will look at the younger generations and think, Jesus Christ, they're cringe.
The enemy musters for a fresh assault. Hold the line.
I don't care about anything economic wise. Yeah. No, I feel that. When I was 17, I didn't care about anything economic wise either. And try not to, I guess, is the big takeaway. Try to stave that off as much as you can. Because the moment you start caring about it, the moment you realize it's all over. There is no way to recover from having like the worst spawn point in the history of Western civilization. Why? Because the older generations really screwed up everyone. Everyone. And who are the main culprits? Boomers. The same boomers who will then turn around and be like, no, you can't say okay boomer like that. It's derogatory. No, it's not. It's a recognition of just the absolute failure that particular generation had in like maintaining even a semblance of you know, a sustainable society. And because they didn't even bother to maintain anything for the future generations, they can't just then turn around Pikachu face being like, oh, why do the future generations hate us so much?
As long as you can stand. Creatures of the deep void are assaulting the undercroft, tearing rents in its fabric. Seal them up again, or worse foes than threats may emerge. The spheres you see are ambient void energy. Gather as much as you can and use it to heal the damage.
In the end, the best thing we can do, play video games. The only way you'll ever be rich, folks, is by playing GTA. Only then Because only through a simulation of what it's like to be rich, baby, will you ever feel what it's like to be rich. The reality is, you are never going to feel what it's like to be actually rich. To be truly, truly actually wealthy. Exactly. Exactly. So I'm looking forward to whenever GTA 6 comes out. I'll get into that for sure. I'll definitely play like I'll definitely play some from some GTA Online for a while as well.
Hold fast.
And then I'll probably move on.
Close the ruptures as you would staunch the wounds of a comrade.
Yeah, the only place where the Kategari name is wealthy is in Warframe. Because I have like a few 100 million credits worth. I probably have like a few 100 million credits altogether. Just sitting in my ship. I've got 20 million credits like in liquid cash. I've got 20 million credits in cash. The rest of them is invested in pedestals. If I could sell pedestals, like, wouldn't it be hilarious if DE made it so that you can sell pedestals back to the bank? So pedestals basically become like pedestals become a like a tradable stock almost, and it's like, and there's like a stock price for pedestals. And so like some of us are just rolling around with like millions and millions of credits worth of pedestals, and we're waiting for the market to fluctuate.
The rupture is closed.
And when the market goes up,
Stabilize.
we sell those pedestals, and then when the market goes down, we buy those pedestals again. Hell yeah, brother, hell yeah.
Excellent work.
Oh, speaking of buying stuff, I hear that apparently they're gonna try and put NFTs in the next FIFA game. Like, I understand that FIFA is a fun game to play, especially if you're loot boxing like crazy, but like, really? They're gonna go so far as to put NFTs in this thing too?
The smallest breach in the wall may become a gaping wound.
Like, goddamn.
Thanks to you. That will not now happen. Leave now or later. But leave you must, for the Undercroft is inexhaustible.
I mean, no, I wouldn't, like, don't knock FIFA. Like, it really is like the only soccer game that exists.
Buried deep within the
So by definition, it is like the best soccer game in the world. And also the worst soccer game in the world. It's Schrodinger's soccer game. But like, because like they tried to make a rival to FIFA. What was it called? Like All-Star Football or something? Something? Thailand FC. Thailand Football Club?
Excavator under attack.
Like they tried to make like an All-Star Football Club or something or other, and that one just turned out to be completely trash. So like any potential competitor to FIFA just ends up being, it just turns out to be crap anyway, so there's no competition to FIFA. So by definition, it is the best soccer game in the world. Because it's the only soccer game in the world. Save. Were you just trying to get me to play... Sorry, were you just trying to get me to say Thailand Football Club?
Within the Undercroft.
What?
Provides the means to
Am I about to be using an ad or something?
Must protect the excavators and keep them powered.
Is that what happened?
Extractor.
I totally forgot to get my decrees as well. Oh my god. For the record, I do not consent to being in a Thailand Football Club ad. If that is what we're about to do. Not until some form of compensation is agreed upon. Oh damn! I should have taken that one. I should have taken the spreading shenanigans.
Enemies are assaulting your excavator. Avoid treasure has been located.
Yeah, I didn't take the spread one. That's annoying.
Excavator is almost destroyed.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if we get something interesting. Oh, I should have taken the Toxin Cloud one too. There it is.
Excavator lost. The work
Oh my god,
wasted.
get out of my way! Prime Wisp. Spread them cheeks.
Extractor deploying. Marking void treasure extraction.
Oh, Zed. Right, okay. For a second I was wondering, like, why is my team list missing? Wisp main in your squad, Pog. Yeah, true. Except the Wisp Prime playing Ember.
Excavator under attack. Your excavator is on the brink of destruction. Excavator lost. Your work wasted.
Primes don't look like primes anymore. It's probably because they're using a skin.
Extractor in
Oh, as in like they don't look like the original Warframe but primed.
now be claimed.
I mean, they still have the general look, which is that like you have some gold bits. Everything looks more or less. The shape is different, which I guess kind of makes it look like a deluxe skin. They don't have the Orokin color scheme. I do wonder though,
Is out of power.
like, canonically, is the idea that like every single or all of the Warframes are supposed to have been around during the old war? All of them? Because like you have Warframes like Citrin. Was Citrin meant to be around during the old war? I don't remember. I'm not 100%. I'm not too familiar with the story. With like the intricacies of the story. But like the Orokin color scheme implies that those Warframes were around during the old war because they were helping the Orokin, right?
Excavator under
Like, I don't know. We have like so many.
excavator is
All
almost
Warframes didn't participate in the war.
you allowed the enemy to destroy an excavator.
Anyway, I just feel like balance of probability. Right? I just feel like balance of probability. Not every single prime is going to have like the corrupted color scheme. And even then, as long as there's like gold trim, it's prime.
In place. A new void treasure may now be extracted.
I feel like it doesn't have to be white and gold or black and gold. Because remember, Oberon Prime is by default black and gold. like, it doesn't... I don't know.
These are assaulting your excavator.
Like, what color scheme is Hildren Prime?
Charge expended.
The older primes, like Excalibur, Volt... Not even Volt.
Is on the brink of
Wait, what color is Volt Prime? Black, right?
allow the enemy
No.
to destroy an excavator.
Excalibur... No, Volt Prime is white. No?
Extractor deploying.
Like, I kind of figured, like, those ones being the older primes, they definitely were around. But then, like, the newer Warframes, like Voruna, Citrin, even I'd even go so far as to say, like, even Nova, who was supposed to have been a Warframe designed by the Tenno, I guess? I don't know. Who? Volt. She's... Wait, who's Regal color? Hildren Prime. Oh, right, Hildren Prime, right. Yeah, Hildren Prime is like blue. Just can't remember what Volt Prime was.
Extractor deploying.
I understand where your frustration might be. I understand where your frustration might be coming from, but like, I think at the same time, in a game like this, even when all the primes were like the proper Orokin colors, they were only the proper Orokin colors for approximately 3 seconds, and then everyone in their mother like changes the color anyway. So, with the rare occasion of like a certain number of people who probably don't bother doing any fashion framing whatsoever, in which case shame on you, you're playing the wrong game. No, I'm kidding.
A way out is now open to you. But
I don't know, I just feel like
riches are here.
it kind of... I think you probably agree. It ultimately
Wait for you.
kinda doesn't really matter. But at the same time, it should be pretty good. Wisp Prime just looks like a Tenno-gen skin, and her helmet is trash, just like her deluxe. Just like her deluxe. I can't remember what Wisp Prime even looks like. Because that was shown off in a dev stream, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Wisp Prime, right?
Oh, of course they knew.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of her helmet. I'm not a fan of her helmet either. But like, she's going for the same sort of regal Aya look, I think. I'm only gonna use the body because it looks ethereal, and it's gonna go good with the Coven helmet. Yeah, probably. Probably. Like, keep in mind, I think at this point we're also a little bit spoiled by things like Tenno-gen and deluxe skins. So let me have a look at what skin. What skin am I using on my Wisp? Let me have a look. Because I think my Wisp looks fantastic. Yeah, there we go. What am I using? I'm using the Celestis helmet and the Dex skin. I don't know why I'm using the Dex skin. I don't normally use Dex. Is there a reason why I'm using Dex? Oh, because the dangly bits look nicer. Yeah, Wisp regular dangly bits don't look particularly good. Her ass looks better, but her dangly bits don't look as good. Wisp's ass in this one becomes shiny, which I think I like a little bit more. But then also her dangly bits look nice. So skins outclass. Yeah, I'm not a fan of her. Okay, yeah, I do agree. I'm not a fan of They also nerfed her ass in this one, I think. Like... yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Somnium either.
For
I'm not a fan of Somnium either. I don't know, it just looks... doesn't look... Like, I look at this and I don't think Wisp. I look at this and I actually think it's a Baruch skin. If this was Baruch Deluxe, this would be perfect, I think. Somehow, it's... I don't know, somehow it just makes me think Baruch. But this is a Wisp skin for some reason. I mean, cool, okay, awesome. It is what it is, someone's going to like it somewhere. You know? The Coven hat is pretty nice, but it makes her look like Limbo. It does give her eyes though, so that's nice. But yeah, I like Celestis. I think Celestis is fantastic. Or at least the Celestis hat. I think the Celestis hat looks fantastic. Body, I'm super mid about the body, but the Celestis hat is my favorite. So I might end up just sticking with that. I used to use Celestis, but now I use Coven. Oh, fair enough. Shotgun Vendetta, don't care. Secondary Shiver, also don't care. Primary Obstruct. Damn. Wait, the first three. Oh, the first three were arcanes. Huh. Okay, well, there we go. Primary Obstruct. Or you can just play Mag. Let's be real here. If you use Primary Obstruct, you might as well just play Mag. We do have... oh god, what's it called? Polarize. Counterpulse. We do have Counterpulse. I don't know why Yes Melon is constantly saying Thailand FC. It's almost as if they want me to somehow advertise it. So I will say this. I don't think Thailand SC have ever managed to get into the World Cup. Maybe they have. I honestly don't remember. And because I don't remember, I get a sneaking suspicion that the Thailand Football Club probably not that good. Australia gets into the World Cup, and we're not a particularly good nation. We don't have a particularly good team either. The Socceroos do their best, and we are happy for them. Like in Australia, like the Socceroos do their best. If they usually get in, and so if they somehow manage to get further than the group stage, we're ecstatic. Like anything past the group stage, we are like beyond ecstatic. Oh, speaking of Wisp. But it's usually my first build. That's annoying. Okay, fine, whatever. Sun Goddess Thick. Okay, we'll go with Dummy Thick then. Like if we somehow manage to get into like the semi-finals, oh dude, Australia would be like going bananas. You know, if the day we somehow get ourselves into the group not the group finals, the day we somehow manage to get ourselves into the semi-finals is a day that Australia as a whole is like just goes insane with football fever. Until then, we're in the group stages. That's good enough for us. Meanwhile, I don't know if Thailand has ever gotten into the group stages. Oh, maybe they have. Nah, only in like the AFF? I don't know. Oh, in the World Cup qualifiers. In the World Cup qualifiers? Oh yeah, okay. I mean, let's have a look. Where's Thailand? Yeah, they lost a bunch. They were in Group G and they lost a bunch. And so they didn't even make it through. Yeah. I hope they buff Soulgate even though I use it with haste modes to give it a fast tick. You're meant to use it with all of them. You're meant to use Soulgate with all of the modes. Like I don't like. Do you not use them with all the? Do you not have all the modes on you at any given point in time?
Endurance is defiance. Prove you can endure the Undercroft at its most oppressive.
Oh damn! I got mag procs. That's annoying. I should have put a comma, your brain didn't process my message. Oh! Bloody hell. Sorry, I only just noticed that. There was actually 2 sentences in that. Okay, my bad. Let's say that again. I hope they buff Soulgate even though I use it. I wish haste modes gave it a faster tip rate. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, haste modes giving a faster tick rate would be pretty nice. Man, I just wish these guys would actually hit me. That's the one thing about Shock Boat that I don't like. Is that it does actually prevent people from hitting me. Which is, you know, a hilarious defense mechanism. But then at the same time, it does screw me over. Because I don't exactly get any energy if I'm not getting hit. Alright, come on, hit me! Oh my god.
Seconds left. Life support drop imminent. Systems charged with life support.
Ah. I also removed the corrosive procs and just gave it flat armor strip, like 20 per tick. Flat armor strip? Oh, 20% per tick. Well, I mean, yeah, that would be good.
Life support is,
but like, I think they don't really want to do that. I think they're trying to keep the thematic theme of it like. I think they're trying to keep it the thematic theme of like it being like this great big elemental beam. If it just stripped armor, then it wouldn't exactly be an elemental beam anymore. It would. I don't know. Like, yeah, it would be a good idea. I think in the end, it would, like, the reality is, yeah, it would be a good idea. Certainly one way to, like, increase the damage of it. I think it'd be also hilarious if it's, like, also one of those abilities that has condition overload scaling. But that, I don't know, I don't see that happening. Like, if anything, Lavos is the only Warframe that has condition overload scaling, right? Because that's supposed to be a unique thing to him, so I guess that's not going to happen for Wisp. I'd be shocked if that happens to Wisp. Condition overload scaling would be huge. Yeah. But that, I don't think it's necessarily out of the question, because like going back to a Warframe that you weren't super duper familiar with, evidently. Protea. Protea doesn't have condition overload scaling, but she has like level scaling. The reason why something like her turrets do a lot of damage is because they scale with enemy level in a manner that actually makes them like consistently really good at dealing with any enemy of any level. Doesn't really matter. Wow, really? They don't want to do Void Flood, huh?
One
Oh, that's a shame.
pebble at a time. You
Hey, Raider Raids, how's it going?
entire mountains.
Man, I joined late. No worries. At least you joined. At least you joined is what matters. They scale damage per shot. They also scale damage per shot. No, don't her turrets also do the level thing? I swear they did. Protea. Doing dungeons for Pinnacle gear. How am I? I'm doing Undercroft to get another Paris incarnate to make the world's strongest Mark 1 Paris. Oh shit. Just went to Wisp. Alright, let's have a look, shall we? So we have abilities. Blaze Artillery does 500 heat damage per shot, but that's its base damage. Protea when a target is acquired, fires a stream of plasma, ability synergy. Blaze Artillery's overall damage increases by 100% for each successful hit, stacking with subsequent stacks. Huh. Damage per shot is affected by power strength. Not affected by mod. They're not affected by mods though. Current damage multiplier. As every shot is a critical hit, it will increase headshot multipliers. But it does have a 1 times critical multiplier, so it just doubles all the time. Okay, I don't know what this YouTuber is trying to say now. It's very confusing. Huh. Huh. Okay. Why did I think those turrets had level scaling? Why did I think those turrets had level scaling? I'm so confused. Okay, I guess okay, apparently I'm wrong then. This entire time, I thought they had level scaling. Ugh. Wait, am I crazy, or did we not switch? Do we not get a change up in Warframes?
Kills you twice. First in the mind.
I guess I'll play Saren then.
The body. So arm your
Wait, hold on. Ever get that feeling of deja vu? What is happening here? Why is everything the same? Wait. Did we hop out or did we not hop out? I'm so... What's going on? You gotta call that Mark 1 Paris Aloy current status? No, I know it's the world's strongest Mark 1 Paris because nobody else is going to actually build a Mark 1 Paris that also has a Riven as strong as my Paris Riven. I know this for a fact. So based on that, I know for a fact that also Prime Wisp is actually using Wisp. I know for a fact that
The fearful conspirator.
I'm going to have the world's strongest Mark 1 Paris.
History dictates that this Tenno asset was destroyed in a grave setback to the cause. Let us
Oh,
rewrite
bloody hell, why does it have to be defense? I guess defense is good.
and to rest. Already a new onslaught begins.
See?
The enemy
Wait.
musters for a
Oh.
assault.
We had 2 Sarens, but now we only have 1. Uses Well of Life, instantly dies. Yeah, true. That was weird.
My warframe is strong.
The winds blow fiercely. The rains do not relent. Still, the stout
Where am I up to with this? I have no idea. I don't know if I'm just like... if like enemies are just not grouped up enough. Or if I'm like somehow not using my abilities properly. I don't know, it just seems like the spreading of the infection isn't as fast as I thought it was. Like, I thought Saren was always a prolific character. Like, you normally just hit one and suddenly it's like COVID. It just spreads everywhere.
This battle is already half won. Enemies incoming. Stand fast.
Or maybe it just doesn't help that like we're kind of killing enemies too quickly. We haven't received a call yet from our car dealer about our car that should be available this week. It's not, so I don't know if I should be concerned or if everything's alright. But like I think he may have told us like don't expect a call until next week. So that should be
Prepare
okay.
yourself. A fresh
But then at the same time, it's like, is the car here? Because we also need to talk about like potentially some extra things. Scammed. Well, I mean, like it's not a used car dealership or anything. It's like if anything, it's like it's a brand. You know, it's an actual like brand or everything. So if we're getting scammed by an actual brand, well, that dude's lost his commission. And like car dealers, whether they be used car dealers or luxury car dealers or just consumer car dealers, they live and die off their commissions. So if they do that's why if they do anything to lose their commission, they don't really get to put food on the table. So they want to do everything they can. We've given them a deposit on the car, but we haven't paid the rest of the car yet. Deposit's only small change. They need the rest of it.
expect me to tell you when to
So it's in their interest
judge.
to make sure that we get our car in a timely fashion. Otherwise, we could just up and leave.
Secrets lie buried deep within the Undercroft. The Paradox provides the means to extract them. You must protect the excavators and keep them powered. Extractor deployed. An extractor requires power.
And also having no real idea of like the internal power struggle inside a car dealership. If that guy is like the best salesperson of the month, if that guy's like full-on employee of the month shenanigans, or like
A new void treasure may now be extracted.
if he's like the second best employee of the month, he'll need to work hard to either maintain that position or go up to being the best salesman of the month. And you can't do that if we are sitting here waiting for our car for a long time. So, you know, I think in general, just if he happens to be the worst salesman in the, well, I mean, if he happens to be the worst salesman in the dealership, it's still in his best interest
Extractor charge expended.
to make sure that we get our car on time. Otherwise, he might get fired, you know, but I'm hoping he's not the worst. I hope we didn't get the worst one.
Void
Because that would be pretty cringe.
established. Extractor in place.
But yeah, I think our car is. I think the idea is that our car should be ready. Should be arriving at their facility this week. And it's important that it arrives a few days before the weekend, because I think we were going to also need to chat with someone about the tinting of some windows. So like the car already comes with what's called privacy glass by default. Which is like a particularly dark glass, but at the back you can't really see into it. So sometimes you might come across cars driving down the road where the back window, you can't actually see through the back window. So two people could be getting it on in the back, and you wouldn't know unless they're making a lot of noise, in which case you might know. But like, you can't see inside it, as opposed to like the older cars where you can see into it.
May now be claimed.
Peaceful Provocation is a fun version. Is the fun version of Gloom. Yeah, agreed. I just don't have a spot for it in my duality build. Because I want to use it, I just don't have a spot for it, unfortunately. Like, it's not even mod energy, it's like literally the mod space, I don't have a spot for it. Because unfortunately, I don't think Equinox is the kind of Warframe that you can just use like that you can do like quadra augment build on and then expect to be able to go nuts with just otherwise seemingly mediocre stats, because Equinox kind of needs everything a lot more than like Mag does. Do the incarnate bonuses actually work on it, or something kind of out of touch right now? Yeah, they do. Wait, what? Seriously? Huh. That sounds pretty absurd, but okay. Kennesaw on the Genshin Gym Pack chat. Did I ever tell you how the time I was trying to pull for C6 Goro and I got C2 Ito, Faruzan, C0 Wanderer before I get C6? Bro. Sounds like when I tried to get 2 Dories for C6 Dory. Ended up nearly C6ing. No, I actually ended up C6ing Shinobu, and who else was in it? Layla. (1x) Nahida and 1x Nilu as well. Don't try to C6 4 stars. No, trying to snipe C6 4 stars.
Box has messages for the operator.
Time and time again, it just turns into a complete meme. Oh, I'm so close to getting the former. Bloody hell. Oh, has Reddit gone dark right now? So r/warframe would have. So r/warframe should have gone dark right now. r/warframe has gone private in an indefinite protest of Reddit's change of API policies. So instead we can use the dormy.zone right now. Okay, let's have a look at that. r/gay porn. Yeah, true. So we have dormy.zone, which is basically the Warframe subreddit, but it's actually alive. Okay. Obviously not that many people are using it right now, but it is what it is. There's also the Soulframe subreddit. A Lemmy instance. Okay, well. I guess we'll just not worry about that for now. What's this? Oh my god. And so, did the Genshin subreddit... Did the Genshin subreddit yeet as well? There was talk of it. There was a question raised about it, but I don't know if any of the mods or anyone else actually said anything. No, it doesn't look like the Genshin subreddit has bothered. Really worried about Genshin's future in India. So apparently the Indian government has declared that it will be banning games that are gambling related or are addicting. Must be bad translation. Main target is actually gambling games related to the cricket in India. but there's a fear that the government will declare Genshin as a gambling game as well. Indian government has a track record of banning Chinese apps. For example, TikTok is banned. TikTok's banned in India? Huh. So I guess there's a worry that Genshin's gonna get banned in India. I mean,
The inbox has messages for the operator. Anything about orders in there?
there's a... Hey? The Joyous Summer Community Events Series will be available on June 16th. Rare India W carry for their people? Yeah. Yeah, I think overall that's probably a good thing. Gambling is very... it's often like... It often like destroys quite a lot. And if they actually go so far as to also like put a hard stop on even like Genshin, because Genshin being a gacha game, that might change things for the better. If a nation as big, because keep in mind, China's no longer the most populated country in the game. China's no longer the most populated country in the world. India is. If Genshin loses out on that market because of its gacha, not only will Genshin lose out on that market, Honkai will lose out on that market, Star Rail will lose out on that market. Basically everything that Hoyo does will lose out on that market if that ends up being the case. And I wonder if that would scare Hoyoverse enough to remove the gacha elements out of their games and start like just charging people a specific amount of money to get specific characters. If you want to get C6, like if you want to get like a 5-star character, $30. I don't know. That might be really high, or that might be really low. I don't know. I suspect they're probably just going to make it like, oh yeah, if you want to get a C6 5-star character, $50. I mean, it's still it's still really expensive to try and get that 5-star character, but at least you know exactly what you're paying for, which is a lot better than freaking gacha. It does mean that pity no longer becomes a thing, so there's that. But like, whatever. Like you look at like Prime Access, for example, right? Prime Access. $50, you get 2 prime weapons and a bunch of plat. 2 prime weapons and like $50 worth of plat, I think, or something like that. Which is pretty good. You might want to stop charging my shields. You're running out yourself. It's Peregrine again. Ooh, 2x Hildrens. Y'all should be staying alive forever. Tip it on Prime. But yeah, if something like that ends up happening, where Hoyoverse actually gets scared, I say that's a good thing. What the hell is this Tiburon build? I'll just go with the default mods.
Every time you leave this cave, I fear it will be the last time.
The fearful conspirator.
Like it's like you look at Prime Access, it's $80, $90 actually. It's $88 Australian to get the Prime Warframe in question, the 2 weapons, and I think about 2,000 plat. That's like nearly $90, which is a lot of money, you know? It's a lot of money, all things considered.
contain the paradox.
But I think that's perfectly fine due to the fact that you know exactly what you're getting. So yeah, we'll see. And keep in mind as well, it's like it's $90, but you get a Prime Warframe. So, I mean, it's not. You're effectively getting a stronger version of something that already exists. So it's not exactly like a brand new experience. It's not like getting a completely different character. But for Genshin, they're probably not going to sell. I mean, it'd be hilarious if they sell like character and signature weapon bundles. For the low price of like $150, you can get Zhao and PJWS. Aegis Storm is so fun. Agreed. But like, that could be pretty hilarious. Buys Prime Warframe for 170 flat, aka $10. That's just the that's the market working against DE.
The spark of victory.
But like Prime Access is Prime Access, you know?
On and fan the flame.
Like, yeah. Ultimately it is cheaper. Like ultimately, like Warframe is just like Warframe is ultimately a super duper cheap game to play because you can rely on a lot. Whoa, why did I... Oh, I got a vault on the team, that's right. I was thinking like, damn, how come I... I was thinking like, whoa, why is my speed suddenly so high? Like, you can always rely on a lot of players who, I guess, have like an almost like a plat living of selling Prime stuff on the cheap. And so thanks to that part of the economy, you could do Prime Access if you really want to. Or you could just wait for it to be available on the market. Like half a day, tops. Half a day, you'll get it on the market. You can get it on the market for like 150, for like 170, 200 plat. And that price can only go down. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen like a Prime Warframe plat price actually go up in some dramatic fashion before. A friend that has potential but gets gutted because DE doesn't like fun is Zephyr. Zephyr? Have you played Zephyr in the past however long?
Little by little, the madness
That's a very odd that's another very odd assessment to be making there, Mara. I disagree completely.
merely
I think Zephyr is very fun. Like, my first Prime is Zephyr. Let me fly. I hate stupid hover.
the longer
You can fly.
craft manifestation
Just don't hold one, just tap it.
for the other side.
What do you think flying is? Hovering is just persistent flight. Otherwise, you can just tap one and you actually fly. Into a wall, but you fly. So, I'm not entirely sure what you're hoping to expect here. Like, if you're... What, do you want, like, Titania flight? Because... Okay, fair enough. But, like, Titania flight is... Tailwind is caca. Tailwind, if you, like... I do agree, tapping one... You just end up flying into walls. Like, I realize this might actually just completely delete the purpose of Balefire Surge. I kind of wish that I could use something like a Thingo. Pillage on whilst I'm in the air, but that would fly in the face of Balefire Surge, so I don't worry about it too much. But like, I feel like sometimes Balefire Surge, the augment, doesn't exactly work.
60 seconds left.
I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy.
Life support has been activated.
I still use Surge, yeah.
Prepare to receive life support.
Like, I still try to use it, but like sometimes, like right now... Oh no, there we go. There it is, now it worked. Oh, I got Arcane Aegis, let's go!
Life support is limited. It must not be squandered.
It'd be so much better if you didn't have to fully charge it. Yeah. Yeah, that might be the thing. Having to fully charge it kind of makes it a little bit more annoying. And it seems like it has a... It seems like it's also very strict. Have you noticed that? Like, sometimes you feel like you clearly did a direct hit, but then it doesn't really count as a direct hit. It's almost as if you have to, like... It almost has to be, like, pinpoint accurate direct hits for it to count. I don't think that was always the case. I think it used to have a bit of leeway. But, like, now it's like, if it's not a direct hit, the most direct of direct hits, if there is even a hint of some sort of AoE shenanigan going on, then, like, no. Absolutely no. And I'm not really a fan of that.
You have 60 seconds.
Charge rate is so bad. I mean, you can put fire rate mods on it, but yeah. I guess in the end, though, I still like the idea that, like, it just deletes nullifier bubbles as well. Gives you the opportunity to just completely delete nullifier bubbles. That's nice.
Leave now, later. But leave you must, for the Undercroft is inexhaustible. Many defensive battles will Legion system were lost. Through the paradox, you now have the chance to undo those defeats.
I feel like Inarius in the Diablo 4 cinematic.
Hold the line.
The army is like getting ready to fight. The army on the ground is getting ready to fight the demons. And then you have Inarius just sort of chilling in the air. I have anemic on it, it's still bad. Yeah, I don't disagree. It's not super duper amazing. I feel like if Hildren Prime naturally had wings, she would basically be a very dummy thick Oriole. And so then you could basically be like, yeah, this is Hildren, the Warframe of Hope.
The winds blow fiercely. The rains do not relent. Still, the stout bow stands.
Should probably do my decrees. Rolling deals 60 damage, it does nothing. Casting abilities increases movement speed, nice. Status effects deal double damage, nice. Melee attacks hit twice, that ain't happening. Rolling reloads the weapon.
No time to rest. Already a new onslaught begins.
Okay. We have a Hildren player who's like seemingly grounded. Refuses to get into the air. Maybe they're shy. I don't know.
This battle is already half won.
Meanwhile, I'm like Guru Lahima.
Enemies incoming.
I refuse to stay. I refuse to put my feet on the ground. But yeah, if there was like a slightly more reliable way of being permanently up in the air, whether it be through pillage or like whether it be like through an insane rework where somehow pillage is usable in the air, highly unlikely, or like maybe just a bit easier to use Balefire Surge. Otherwise, I just rely on like 2 arcanes. Pretty much all I have.
Prepare yourself. A fresh wave approaches. Like ashes,
Okay.
the enemy has been scattered to the void.
Oh god, excavations.
You lay your sword aside and rest. Or
What time is it? You know what? It's been a lot of calls on the Warframe subreddit to try and like make Steel Path, the Steel Path circuit XP a bit faster.
Paradox provides the means to
I'm
you must protect the
kind of starting to feel it as well.
powered. Extract
Like, I don't know how you guys feel about that. That idea, making it a bit faster. Apparently, it's not as. Apparently, it's like about as fast as regular mode.
out of power.
I think is the idea, or is it even slower? I don't. Honestly, I don't remember. Like I think D once mentioned that like the rate is about the same, but the amount of XP you need to go from one level to another in the Steel Path mode
Your location
is higher, which is why it feels slower, which basically means that it's slower. I think that was what the idea was. And if that's the case, I mean, that just sounds really, really dumb. I understand, like, the idea of, oh yeah, no, it shouldn't be as long for regular mode, because regular mode is full of people who haven't played the game as much and so would like to not be doing the same thing for the next 15 years. Want to, like, get something and then done. Ah! Never doing the circuit again? How come?
extractor in place. Marking void treasure extraction site. Extractor deploying. Enemies are assaulting your excavator. Extractor charge expended.
Trash weapons. You don't like the Paris? You don't like the Dread? I hear that the the I think it was not the Tigris, but
An extractor.
I mean the Soma incarnate is decent. And once Hata Satya works with it, it's going to be kind of nuts. Which apparently it's going to work with it at some point in the future.
A new
Like the only one that kind of is a bit meh, in my opinion, of the ones I've used, obviously, would be the Dread incarnate, but
extractor charge expended.
I was never really a huge fan of the Dread to begin with.
An extractor is out of power.
Alright, defense. But I'll imagine like once I get this one, this second Paris Incarnate, that might be it for me for the circuit. Because like I don't really care for any of the other weapons.
You have gained much. If you choose, you may now leave.
Okay, we're done. Oh my god, we're finally done. Oh, that's just ended there. It's what, 11 o'clock? I'm tired. I am tired from that. What do we do? 2 hours worth of just Undercroft stuff? Ooh, see, that's why I don't understand how people can do level capping constantly. Like 2 hours of Undercroft stuff where it's constantly different. And I'm already tired as all hell. You mean to tell me there are people who do like level cap stuff where they're doing 2-3 hours of the same thing? Like, I don't know how you don't get exhausted from that. I've done it once and I don't want it, and I don't really care to do it ever again. And like, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't have
Has messages.
neither the time,
Anything about orders?
nor evidently the energy to do level cap shenanigans when it takes 2 to 3 hours of doing the same thing to get there. Now, as I've mentioned, I think I may have mentioned this before. Did I ever make a video on it? I think I did, yeah. Yeah, like I said before in a video. Hey? What? Wait, did I just get scammed? Chad, you guys saw it with me, didn't you? I should have... Wasn't tier 5 done? I thought tier 5 was done. Oh, god damn it. Okay, fine. Fine. One more round. I'm in for one more round. God damn it. Anyway, as I was saying, the idea that people, like, will actually sit in this game... Like, look, this game is fun. But I don't think it matters what game it is. You sit in this game, you sit in any game, and you do the same thing for 2.5 hours? Oh my god. What is this, work? Sorry, what is this, accounting? No, like, oh god, man, like, even the most fun thing, you do it for like an hour and a half, non-stop, and it's only the same thing, non-stop? Nah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, like, I've said before, like, I think you should, like, have some sort of a way to turbocharge getting to level cap, so that you can actually fight level cap shenanigans for no reason whatsoever, but you can actually fight level cap shenanigans and really put your builds to the test and have like level cap or like I've said before, you've got steel path, give us a platinum path where every node is level cap. Give us a level cap node. Oh god. Got lucky then. I guess we got lucky. You almost got level cap with Raider Raid. Nice. But then he bailed. You know why he bailed? Because he actually had things to do.
Secrets lie buried deep within the undercroft.
Wow. First one we get is the spread thing. Nice.
You must protect the excavators and keep them powered.
Spread those, we're gonna spread those status effects like we spread them cheeks. Inara's players SMH? Okay, well he's probably just dying then. Because remember, now that shield gating is a thing, Inara's is uniquely the squishiest warframe in the game.
Enemies are assaulting your excavator.
Oh, speaking of which, I haven't actually sent Raider Raids my proposed idea for an Inaris rework yet. I had thought about it, but I haven't actually written it down yet. I should probably get around to writing it down sometime this week.
A new extraction site may now be claimed.
But like, I guess I'll just hash it out. I'll just say here right now, because it's the stream, whatever, who cares. I discuss all sorts of things that I feel like making videos on afterwards anyway. So it's fine, whatever, the stream is whatever. Basically, I kind of want I'm thinking of like an Inaris rework where the gist of it is like, I don't want to like remove the one thing that, I don't want to remove Inaris's identity. What is Inaris' identity? He's a great big ass health tank who is Egyptian sand themed, right? So the goal, Egyptian sand scarab themed, that's awesome, right? So, despite the fact that I constantly meme on the fact that because Inaris is a health tank, he is now uniquely the squishiest warframe in the game, I don't want to give him any shields. I don't think he should have any shields, because that just goes against his identity as a health tank. So that's fine, right? So one of the things I'm thinking that Inaris should have, health gating. And not just health gating, but like multi-level health gating. This is something that I feel like shields should have as well, but since shields don't have multi-level gating, Inaris having multi-level health gating would once again make him, sort of by definition, the tankiest warframe in the game. Which he should be. He should actually be the tankiest warframe in the game. Owing to his 4,000 health, he should actually be the tankiest warframe in the game. Right, so that's number one. That's the first thing I want to change about. First thing I think he should have to maintain his actual identity, being one of the tankiest warframes in the game, is to have like multi-level health gating that is only achieved with certain levels of health. So at that point, it becomes interesting as to how you want to build your Inaris. Do you build your Inaris to be like the 10,000 health, the 10,000 health meme build, but then you have like 2 or 3 layers of health gating? Or do you build your Inaris to be the 4,000 health Inaris, but then you can do more with your abilities, because your abilities actually have some more power strength or some more power duration or something like that. But even then, I still want to like I kind of want to like look at Genshin as well. Well, hang on, I'm going ahead of myself. So first things first, I kind of want him to have like health gating, and I want him to have like potentially multiple levels of health gating, depending on how much health he has. And then the second fundamental thing that I feel like could be interesting for Inaros, and this is like something that only by playing Genshin, I think, would I have come up with this idea, because it's basically the idea that works in Genshin. So let's have a look at how some characters in Genshin actually have health scaling. Kokomi, Futao, they have health scaling, right? Kokomi is a prime example, because with Kokomi, when you use your ult, your health then gets used at your health then gets converted into like some additional damage. When you use Futao, your health then gets converted into, and you use your skill with Futao, I think it is, your health then gets converted into like some sort of damage multiplier or damage addition, I don't remember. Anyway, I think Inaros should have like a small health to damage conversion of some description. Now it could be, no, not necessarily damage, it might be like a health to stats conversion. I don't know if like it should be a I'm wondering like, should it be a big one that actually further incentivizes building 10,000 HP, or should it have like the kind of scaling, or should it have like the kind of effect that like, for example, EM has on Nahida, where like if you build triple EM, you're actually pretty much good to go with Nahida. If you build 10,000, if you build like nothing but HP on Inaros, would that actually make you good to go? But then, in a similar fashion, like, if you actually build a normal build on Inaros...
Further buried riches are
okay, we're done.
For the taking.
If you actually build like a normal build on Inaros,
You will lift entire mountains.
you might get better stats, but... you might get overall better stats, but you have less health. Whereas if you build like... not triple HP, if you build nothing but HP on Inaros, and you have like 10,000 HP, you can still do a lot of damage. Cause like I think on Nahida, cause like right now the interesting thing about Nahida in Genshin is that like a lot of the strongest DPS Nahidas, a lot of the strongest spread damage Nahida players are actually building her like EM Dendro crit or something. Like they're actually building a like just a normal DPS build, and they're doing a lot more damage than, not a lot more, doing a bit more damage than me. But my Nahida, EM crit. Like my Nahida is EM crit, and yet she's actually one of the top 3% Nahidas for spread damage. Which means if you want to do maximum damage, building like a proper DPS build is the way to go. But if you build like EM crit or even triple EM, you can still have a very, very strong Nahida.
Unread
I think
box messages make
what I want to see in an Inaros rework potentially is like a relationship like that. If you want your Inaros to do the most damage, you build power strength, power duration, power range, power efficiency. Cool, awesome. Maybe not power efficiency because you can still range take, but you still want to build strength, duration, range. But if you build 10,000 HP Inaros, you can still get some strength, range, duration, because his new passive converts his HP into additional strength, duration, range, for example. Or like, my brain is exploding. Okay, am I explaining this really badly? Like, I haven't thought about numbers at all. Keep in mind, I haven't thought about numbers at all. But like, am I explaining this really, really badly?
Do you remember the old war, operator?
Okay.
Order seems to have misplaced.
Okay, so we have Inaros Prime. Okay?
If I may say, operator.
Now, my Inaros Prime...
Suits you.
My Inaros Prime currently has 4,830 health, right? This is a... This is not a normal Inaros Prime build. I think other people who play Inaros Prime will go triple umbral and also like other health mods. Namely, I don't know if they use Vigor. Isn't there like I think they definitely use Physique. Isn't there like something else that Gladiator Resolve? Oh, Gladiator Resolve. And like some other stuff. Canis Carapace? Saxum Carapace? Wait, there's 2 of them? Huh. Huh. Well, there we go. Anyway, so there are some Inaroses that actually build... There's some... Actually, no, not some. There's a lot of Inaros players who actually build maximum health. And I think it could be interesting if Inaros' passive were to change in such a way where if you had 10,000 health, you can still have 150% duration, 130% range, 130% strength. So like you can still have relatively normal stats whilst having 10,000 health. Because if you build a 10,000 health Inaros, you don't really have... I mean, I don't think you would have any space left to put in strength mods, range mods, duration mods, right? So I want Inaros' passive to be able to convert some of that in some of his health into strength, range, duration stats, so that you have an Inaros who's so like HP for stats. Yeah, exactly. You don't play Genshin, do you, Mara? I don't remember. Because I was explaining, like, there's a character in Genshin called Nahida. Okay? Who's, spoiler, Dendro Archon. So, Nahida has this passive. The amount of EM that you have over a certain level, I think it's like 200, doesn't matter. The amount of what is called EM, Elemental Mastery, that you have over a certain amount. When you unlock this passive, that is then converted into additional. So you still keep that EM, you still keep that Elemental Mastery with Inaros. If you have 10,000 health on your Inaros, you still keep that 10,000 health. But by having a certain amount of Elemental Mastery for Nahida or HP for Inaros, by having that amount, you automatically get additional, for Inaros, additional strength, duration, range. Or maybe just strength and duration, or maybe duration and range, or just all 3. I don't know. Right? Because the way it works in Genshin for a character like Nahida, that Elemental Mastery that you have is then taken and converted into additional, what's called crit rate, which is basically crit chance, and elemental damage, dendro damage bonus, which is just another damage multiplier. So essentially, Inaros' new passive should be that your health, at any given point in time, your health actively influences your strength, range, duration, for example. But only in a way where but only in a sense that it doesn't overtake actually building strength, range, duration. If you build strength, range, duration on your Inaros, you get more strength, range, duration on your Inaros. Still. But if you build 10,000 HP Inaros, where you don't have any mod slots left to build strength, range, duration, or you have like a few, maybe you have like 1 or 2, I don't know. You might have like 1 or 2 slots left for like a strength mod and a range mod, but then you have what, no duration, or you have like something else missing. You can at least get something out of that, you know what I mean? So you can either go like full DPS Inaros, or you can go for like full tank, but you can still do something with Inaros. And it's important that I think something like that is available for Inaros players to choose, because then we reach point 3 of Inaros, of an Inaros rework, which is he needs to actually have abilities. He needs to actually have abilities that don't just overlap each other constantly. And then on top of that, he needs to have abilities that are interesting, and he needs to actually have a damage option of some description. Just because he's a 10,000 health tank doesn't mean he can't do... doesn't mean he just suddenly can't do like any meaningful damage whatsoever by himself. Oh, and also his coffin's gonna change. His what did you call it? The sarcophagus. His sarcophagus needs to change. Like, that's the gist. That's the gist of like how I want an Inaros rework to work. I'm thinking we get rid of his... I'm thinking, in terms of his abilities, I think his 4th ability should become his 1st ability. I think by definition, you should be able to get your Scarab armor out just instantly. Right from the get-go. Scarab armor can then also be his... Scarab armor is also like sort of his healing option as well, so that's fine. Scarab armor doesn't... the Scarab armor doesn't really need to change. I think Scarab armor is pretty good. Elemental... Is it elemental armor or something like that? The thing that also prevents status procs? That's good. That's good. That doesn't need to change. What's it called again? Negation Swarm. Yeah, Negation Swarm doesn't need to change. Scarab Swarm doesn't need to change. I say just make it his 1st ability. 2nd ability... I mean, we can workshop this till the cows come home. I can't remember what I was thinking of. Like, something... I think his Sandstorm is an interesting concept if it just did, like... If it actually did, like, something meaningful, and if he wasn't stuck in it. But then at the same time, I don't necessarily want to give him, like, Tornado. He's not Zephyr. I don't really want to give him, like, Tornado. I kind of like the idea, actually. Like, this isn't... Oh, now I remember. I kind of like the idea of his abilities using his Scarab armor as, like, a resource to summon things. He could be, like, a summoner character. You have Scarab armor and Scarab Swarm, but Scarab Swarm is just like a point of healing and crowd control that spreads. His 2nd ability could be like this. This kind of ends up making him like a Naro. Oh, sorry, this ends up kind of making him like Nidus, but not exactly. I think his 2nd ability could be something like a Scarab Army, where like he removes a bit of his Scarab armor and he summons an actual Scarab that then fights enemies and is invulnerable and can actually do decent damage. Maybe even has level scaling, I don't know. His 3rd ability could be another thing that... Nice one, Shin. You are no longer wanted by the FBI. Congratulations. But yeah, like, his 3rd ability could be something else that does, like, some meaningful damage. His 4th ability... I don't know. His 4th ability could be... I don't know. Like, his 4th ability might end up being Sandstorm. But, like, it's a Sandstorm where... It could be, like, a Sandstorm that somehow is extremely useful. I don't know, like, maybe it's a Sandstorm that applies a lot of elements onto enemies. and also applies a special tag onto enemies that allows your Scarab army to do a lot more extra damage, for example. I mean, I don't know. Best buff would be licensing Darude via Sandstorm. Yeah, true. True. But like, I don't know, maybe like the Sandstorm could be like this buffing thing as well that could like make your Scarab army do a ton of damage. Like maybe I don't know, maybe second ability is Scarab Warrior, third ability is like, I don't know, Scarab Bomber. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know. I don't want to give him, I don't think he needs to have an exalted weapon, so the idea of him being like an Anubis warrior is, we're not going to do that. But like, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of him being a summoner character. We have like, how many summoner warframes do we have? We have Necros. We kind of have Nidus. Technically we have Korra. We have Caliban. Because Caliban can summon 3 sentients. I think that's it. Oh, I guess if you want to go there, we also have Wukong and Duality Equinox. We don't exactly have a lot of like warframes that it spreads when you throw it on enemies, make it strip armor and make enemies vulnerable, hence making Sandstorm good. That might be something. Yeah, I don't know. Stripping armor and making them more vulnerable. Well, yeah. Like the main thing is I kind of want him to have abilities that actually do something. Because the big thing that I don't like about Inaris is that all of his abilities do something, but they do the same thing. They just heal him, and that's basically it. His second ability heals him, his first ability is pretty much designed to heal people. Pretty much designed to heal him. His fourth ability heals him. It's not a whole lot. I think the biggest game changer would be adding yeet and fall damage to enemies. Ah! Turn him into Jean in Genshin Impact. Yeah. Sandstorm's annoyance is that it's yeeting enemies. It should be a good thing. Yeah. No, I don't know. I think if Sandstorm continues to yeet enemies no matter what, it's not going to be particularly useful. Because yeeting enemies all over the place, especially in like open air maps. Like not just open world maps, but like open air tiles. It's going to be annoying because you're just flinging enemies far away. And if the idea is that you're summoning a freaking Scarab army? I don't know, man. If it does really good damage, then it's good. Oh yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, if the fall damage is actually pretty good, then I mean, I would assume fall damage in Genshin is a percentage of their health, so it scales with level. So if fall damage is true damage and it's percentage of their health, okay, cool, awesome, whatever. Like if Inaris' like Scarab army does like, let's say, like, what's the normal number? 1,000 damage? So, like, if Inaris' Scarab army does, like, 1,000 damage, but then it also has level scaling, or something crazy. If it has, like, level scaling, then it could potentially scale up and do a lot more. I swear Zaku is not the only warframe that has level scaling. I really, like, Garuda technically has level scaling with her first ability. Her Blood Bomb actually has level scaling, because it takes a percentage of the target's health, which increases if they are higher level, which means it has levels, which means by definition it has level scaling. Okay. Wait, hold on, what else do we have? Ability duration and energy array on Trinity? On Gyre. Nice. Okay. Fletched Orb has ever... Ah, there we go. That must be what I was thinking of then. Because I know something else has level scaling and it's Fletched Orb. Okay. I could totally see like a... I think Scarab's army could... Like a Scarab warrior. A summoned Scarab warrior. If you could make like 10, let's say. If you can make like 10, or hell, if you can make 20 of them. If you can make 20 of these little bastards that just like run around and attack enemies and they have level scaling. That could be really cool. You know, that could be really, really cool. Oh! I remember now. Inaris' third ability. Sorry, Inaris' fourth ability. Okay, let me explain. It might still be Sandstorm, but like there was a thought in the back of my mind. There was a thought in my head that one of Inaris' abilities should be like... I think it's called like... It might... Locust Swarm. So... Hands up who's played sorry, not World of Warcraft. Hands up who's played Warcraft 3. Or Heroes of the Storm for that matter. There is a character by the name of Anubarak. He is what is called a Crypt Lord. He's basically a great big beetle. A great big scarab beetle. He is, he's a Crypt Lord. He's an undead... He's essentially like an undead, like, bug. Because the undead had things like Crypt Fiends, in its army, which are like these sort of like, I think almost undead spiders, and they also had like undead beetles and undead insects and all that jazz. So that's how you get Crypt Fiends, but you also get Crypt Lord, which is Anubarak, for example. Anubarak had an ability called Locust Swarm. This was actually his ultimate ability in Warcraft 3. It would also be one of his ultimate abilities in Heroes of the Storm. And it basically sends forth an army of locusts that just fly around everywhere. They attack enemies, take their health, and then heal you. And I feel like Inaris should have an ability like that actively moves with him. Not necessarily like the way that Scarab Swarm works, where if you hit a bunch of enemies with it, you start healing off it while they start taking a little bit of damage and get crowd controlled. I think Inaris could... Yeah, I think it could be interesting if Inaris had the actual Locust Swarm, but then of course we go back to the problem where at least two of Inaris' abilities are basically overlapping each other, so we don't need to do that. But like, yeah, maybe Inaris doesn't get the healing part of Scarab Swarm. I don't know. Like maybe Scarab Swarm like becomes his first ability, loses the heal. Like loses the heal. His third ability becomes like a Locust Swarm. Maybe Sand Theme sucks. It's what we got, so we gotta make use of it. It's what we got, mate, so we gotta make do with what we can, eh? And so like trying to figure out like a kit that might be interesting is maybe like this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. Inaris is passive. Can he also be more Egyptian themed? That's not sand. I mean, he's not exactly Egyptian themed right now. He's scarab themed, or rather, he's like desert themed, with a hint of Egypt. He's like got Egyptian motifs, but he's not. He doesn't seem. He currently isn't like all that Egyptian themed, and I don't really know. We don't exactly have like a nation themed Warframe anyway. Nezha and Wukong are Nezha and Wukong themed. They're not China themed. You know, there's not a single Warframe that makes me think, oh yeah, Strya themed. We have Mesa, but that's Western themed. We have Mesa who's like not Western themed though. She's She's a gunslinger. There's a slightly different, you know? Inaris to me is more like Scarab themed. Maybe you think of reverse the power to summon an Oasis. That's an interesting thought, Shen. That's an interesting thought. Like, it could be hilarious if, like... Because Oberon right now is able to cover the ground in grass. Radioactive grass, but grass nonetheless, right? Especially if you... I think especially if you use the fairy theme. Oh, sorry. I think if you use the fairy skin. But, like... There's that. It could be hilarious if it turns out that Inaros not only has an ability that covers like the nearby area in grass, but also like spawns some palm trees. Wait, is it palm trees in an Oasis, or is it like some other tree? You know what I mean. It'd be hilarious if Inaros can like spawn some trees as well, and then this just ends up being like, I mean, what would this be? Like a great big heal zone? I don't know. Makes them lose aggro. Ah, so it'd be a great big crowd control, would it? Ah. And they would like lose their aggro because it's like being in the desert for so long. You're so angry, but then you see an Oasis and you're like, I'm suddenly in a very, very happy mood. I don't want to fight. I just want to chill. I mean, there's a thought. If I was D, I don't think I would do that, because that just looks like way too much effort. And you could potentially use the Oasis for like a brand new Warframe at that point. But it is an interesting idea. It is definitely a very interesting idea. I could totally see D looking at that idea being like, okay, we're going to hold on to that, and we're going to make a Warframe around that instead. Well, not instead, but like we're going to make a Warframe around that. And then we can have like another Warframe, because we're past 50. We're past 50 Warframes and there's no sign of stopping. So we just keep on having new Warframes that are all sorts of random themes. Hell, like Gaia and Vault are like similar themed, like electro-based shenanigans, but like Vault is actual electricity theme and Gaia is like, I don't know, like the science behind electricity themed or some shenanigans like that. I haven't played Gaia in so long. Christ, I haven't played Gaia in so long. Anyway, that's basically where I'm at right now with an idea for an Inaris rework. Yeah, Gaia is pretty fun. That's where I'm at with an Inaris rework. Just to quickly recap: passive, big change. Passive needs to have big changes. The fact that he's a health tank needs to be a core part of his identity. Maybe give him health gates. Gates, plural. More gates, the more health he has. But then also incentivize building health in the same way that it is incentivized to build EM on Nahida by having his health get converted to additional stats. Oh wow, long stream today? Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. What else was there? Like, yeah. So have it incentivized to build 10,000 health HP, 10,000 health in Aris, for example, where health gets converted to like additional strength, duration, range, pick 2 or maybe pick 3, I don't know, stats, so that he actually does some decent damage while he has 10,000 health, but not as much strength, duration, range as if you actually built strength, duration, range on him. Yeah, his sarcophagus needs to change completely to actually work. His sarcophagus actually just needs to function. Stats upon stats? Yeah, stats upon stats. Like anyone who's played Nahida knows, when you build triple EM, you don't get to build crit, or you don't get to build crit. So in a similar fashion, if you build like 10,000 HP in Aros, you probably don't get to build strength, duration, or range. So the idea is that his 10,000 HP then gets translated to some additional strength, duration, range, right? Anyway, so there's that. And then you have his fourth ability becomes his first ability. His third ability might end up being his fourth ability. His second ability, yeets. How about Inaris leaving stationary stand clones on getting hit will mimic his moves? His sand clones are an interesting thing. Yeah, that could... Well, they could be a thing. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Maybe that would be his third ability. Sand clones. Because I haven't really thought of a good third ability yet. So maybe sand clones. I want to, like, maybe him be... Because I think him being like a summoner warframe could be interesting. Like a sand-based summoner warframe could be interesting. So, fourth ability becomes his first ability. Second ability and third abilities uses first ability as like an additional resource. Or, yeah, uses first ability's Scarab Armor to become like a resource to summon Scarab armies and potentially summon sand clones. And then his fourth ability is the sandstorm, but it actually is meaningful by, for example, marking enemies that are hit by a sandstorm, and then your summons get to do tons more damage against them. And you get to do a bit more damage against them, or like their armor is stripped, and they have a vulnerability on top of that, or something like that. I don't know. That's basically where I'm at right now with like a potential Inaris rework. Anyway, let's just call it a night. My throat is getting hoarse from all this talking. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, don't forget to follow and feel free to sub. If you're watching on YouTube now or in the future, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace.